Oh, hello there. You just saw Unity. What did you think? Did it remind you of Star Wars? Probably not. More like Spaceballs, even though it wasn't a comedy. I hope you thought it was more like Stargate SG-1, though. Maybe one of their earlier episodes with the cheesy effects. And it got better. Did you know that Stargate SG-1 had 10 seasons, and before that show was completed, they launched Atlantis with another 5 seasons? And finally, the one which must not be named, Universe, which had 2 seasons. Now that I have all of you trapped here, I'm going to share what happened to get in this crazy situation. I had absolutely no idea what I was getting into. I started filming short films for Third Wave Water and was soon hooked. Didn't take long to realize that I wanted to write a short film. It was pretty recent when I had finished watching the entire Stargate series, so the goal of the script was to correct something in the series that I never liked. Bring back the Asgards. The first script was about 10 pages long. Typically a page in a script is a minute of film time. I broke every rule for writing script, and the story was honestly kind of horrible. My friend Mike was kind enough to give me some feedback and point me in the right direction though. About 10 revisions later, I scrapped the entire story and started from scratch. This new story went through about 7 revisions as well. While writing, I decided to start a YouTube channel to share the lessons about filming that I was learning. I took some online classes, watched a ton of YouTube videos, and eventually found this wonderful org chart to help better understand the insanity I was stepping into. I had my work cut out for me. After the script was resolved, I decided to start building for the movie using this org chart as blueprint to help me see a more complete scope of what needed to really be done. Let's start with the props. I 3D printed a ZPM from someone else's 3D model, programmed an Arduino to give the LEDs the breathing look from Stargate. It was an okay start. The next model is the obelisk that I had to design, so I used Midjourney to help come up with a design and eventually came to this one. Then I 3D modeled it, printed it, and assembled it and handed off to Mike to get some weathered look. And this was the final result. Next up is the DHD, or dial home device. Since I'm stepping out of a gate, I needed a DHD in front of it, but I didn't want to do digital for that one. Thankfully, someone had already modeled this, so I printed their 3D model, assembled it, and then handed it to Mike again for a final look, and then took the blue screen shots. Worked perfectly. Some other props include the super secret research paper, the tablets loaded with some amazing visuals that we sadly didn't use, and the Jaffa staff used for a very short scene at the end of the film. That model was fun to put together, even though we ended up dropping it a few times and breaking it on one end. That one's still a little more shaggy. I promise I'm going to do the whole thing for him to hang on his wall when it's all done. Time constraints said I just...
You gotta keep...
The final key prop to create was related to the wall, the artifact. I knew I wanted it to slide into the wall, but didn't know how the top would look as it had writing on it. I purchased some panels and cut them for the top, designed the rest, and 3D printed. The red gem was a fun touch. I asked my friend Boris at NASA, who helped many astronauts design their patches, help design our mission patch, and it turned out amazing. For the patch, I wanted the large obelisk, the 2 moons, and the planet designation on the patch. Huge thanks to Carrie Miner for printing these patches for us. The set, honestly, was a nightmare. Sure, I could build the walls, but you'll notice something accidentally missing here. Guess what it is yet? I'm not using a square. So the walls weren't fully square when I went to attach the panels. I wrestled with the 2x3s, didn't do 2x4s because they weigh more, and this is just a set. But used 2x3s and eventually got it to work good enough. Then painted them and hung the door on the one side. Part of the problem here is that I was building 8-foot walls in a garage with an 8.5-foot ceiling, so not a lot of room to move around. Huge thanks to Toby for helping me get these 3 monsters to Ben's house. And a huge thanks to Ben for letting me use his space. It was perfect for this small project. The back wall was the special one. It had to be 3 different walls in one so I could easily change it between sets. So I designed it to be interchangeable with magnets in the panels. The magnets may or may not have bit into our hands a few times when trying to swap them out.
God, dang, these things are strong.
You okay?
Yeah.
Here's wall 1. Here's wall 2 with the triangle artifact. And wall 3 with the table. For the triangle artifact, I bent ABS plastic panels, 3D printed special ends with ancient and Asgard language on the top and bottom. But these shots weren't used, sadly. For the third wall, I CNC'd the panels and 3D printed each of the language plates. There are some funny things I put in the translations that'll probably make their way into IMDb for some of the funny facts about the movie. On a side note, what the cast is reading is actually what's written in Latin, which is then converted to ancient.
In unite persisti. In unity, you won.
Ah, the table. I tried to mimic the table from Stargate and quickly realized I had taken on a much bigger challenge than I ever expected. I sketched the dimensions and started building. 3D printed the letters, attached them to foam blocks, more 3D printing, built the frame on a fold-out table, attached more ABS plastic panels, cut foam blocks. There were just way too many steps for this table, and I was very nervous that I was not going to be done in time. And action 4. Good, I think. Brian,
that's good. I'll call it.
Okay.
I'm almost there, right? Like I can start filming now. I've got all this stuff. Not really. I had to create storyboards of the shots from the script, showing blocking when possible. Look how awesome these graphics were. Then a shot list of those shots in order per location per day. And call sheets to help keep our sanity and know who was needed when and where, and even costumes. I created some training documents to help us get moving, since I knew our crew didn't have a big film background. Some of us did, but not all of us. But we're quick learners, so the filming went very smoothly.
Where are y'all headed? Yeah, I'd bring it back.
Roll sound.
It was awesome to get into a groove working with such a great crew. I met Nathan Kessler at a TEDx event many years ago. We sat next to each other and randomly discovered that we both grew up in Arcanum off of Delisle Foreman. What a small world. He helped with the first AC or assistant camera at the outside shots and on the first day on the main set. Adam Blakely helped with the sound and never missed a beat, helping with the first multiple days too. Andy Kemp helped with sound on the last day. I think you can see him in the shadows here somewhere. Mike Riegel is not just an actor, but behind the camera most of the time as the DP or director of photography. I was happy to step behind the camera a few times when Mike was in the shots. Taylor Miner also helped get some shots when Mike left on day 1.
I guess I should look for a word on the artifact.
Tina France was brought in primarily as makeup on the set for day 2, but really stepped up and helped out in a myriad of roles when members of the production team had to shift and leave throughout the day.
Take 2, Mark.
My brother Randall Nick was brought on as a set photographer and a huge help in capturing the behind-the-scenes footage on day 2. Without his help, this video would not have been possible. I really appreciated his ability to capture unique moments during filming. Jason France was the glue that kept the show moving, kept the actors on point, and asked a ton of great questions as we filmed. He was the perfect fit for a first AD, or assistant director.
Okay, quiet on the set.
Just a little. There you go. Right there.
Quiet on the set. Roll sound.
He's maybe looking up, or... Well, actually, I originally had it where you were kind of ignoring
Ignoring him, right?
Were you ignoring him this time?
I mean, I'm on my thing. I'm not really. Yeah, I am in my own.
Because in a way, is he frustrated with him as well, kind of?
Everybody's a little frustrated.
Yeah.
I don't even bother to learn his name. That's how much I don't care.
Next to their Wormgate Highway. And I'm forgetting the line already.
It's Wormhole.
And a lot of us had opportunities with the clapper board.
Mark it. Scene 14, take 1.
6.9 alpha, take 1. Scene 8.3, take 4. Scene V8, take 3, mark it.
Scene 1710, take 2, mark.
Scene 1C, take 2.
Action. 12.2 A. Take 1.
Overall, every single person was incredibly helpful and flexible throughout each day of filming. I could not have asked for a more professional and fun team to work with on this short film. Oh, and I had to find actors. Thankfully, I wasn't going to be the only one in the film. I always wanted Brian to be a part because he loved Stargate as much as I did, but didn't know if he wanted to say the key line. He didn't know he was going to say the key line of the entire story.
This means there's a world. Charles!
I met Amanda Miller many years back at the Dayton Entrepreneur community and knew she was an experienced actress, but didn't know if she was going to be available and if this would be her thing. But it turned out that she was a perfect fit. She loved science fiction and did a great job.
Keep reading.
Mike's friend Josh King also had experience behind the camera and was a no-brainer for the military help. Justin was, funny enough, a stand-in for Ben since he couldn't make it and just happened to be in town. So thanks, Justin, for stepping in last minute. And Taylor was scheduled to be another military personnel, but we were already running behind and couldn't wait for the shot that day. Thankfully, he stepped in behind the camera to help the DP work and got some really great shots. Mike has forgotten more about movie making than I've learned so far, so it was a no-brainer to see if he wanted to join the cast. And finally, myself. The story was originally written only for me, but I soon realized how boring that would be and wrote myself out of half the script, which made this a much better story. So now that we have all that together, here's what happened once we got together on the 3 shoot days.
That's cool. Let me see what it looks like to you. Okay, I feel weird right now.
Take off your clothes.
God. Is that a video?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Isn't it cool?
Okay.
Is that a memory card?
Yeah, it's on the side.
That's cool. How cool would that be? Hey, whoa! You should just fall down, like make up some bloopers.
Think that looked like me falling down?
We're getting ND filters.
What are we getting? ND filters?
For Justin. Because he's got to fly a drone. And we don't want the shot to be too dark or too light. Right now it's got the darkest on there. Let's give it a shot.
Let's give it a shot!
Oh. Hard at work.
At least pretend like you're doing something.
What kind of sun do you have?
It's the A7 II.
I used to be a Sony guy. I just stopped.
Rolling, rolling, rolling.
Mark it.
Scene 1E, take 1.
Action.
Mike, I'm back. Jeez. 1E, take 2.
Action.
Mike, I'm back. Fact, did.
Okay, take 2.
Scene 3, take 2.
Action.
Scene 3, take 3. Scene 3, take 4.
Action. It.
Scene 5A, take 3.
Action.
It's nice to see someone finally put a sign next to their Wormgate Highway. And I'm forgetting the line already.
It's Quiet on set. Roll sound.
Sound on.
Roll camera.
Rolling, rolling, rolling.
Mark it.
Scene 2.1, take 1. Mark.
Action.
And the U starts
Right.
to lower. Andy must have been pressing the stones, which are just moving.
Okay.
Quick, help me figure out which one he's pressing.
And then after Mike says his next line, then it's an N and an I. And then Mike says what's next, and then it stops with T.
Okay.
Rolling, rolling, rolling.
Mark it.
Scene 13-3, take 1. Mark.
And action.
I just saw Charles.
What? Where was he?
Keep reading.
The Asgard's homeworld and your body's close. The place of your legacy this is. Turn back you cannot.
I thought that Asgard's homeworld was Ida.
And then the line of all lines. Ba, ba, ba.
And I'm even reading the line above that, Charles. Brian's face lights up with excitement.
Okay.
So you need to do it just like you've been doing it.
The only thing I care about, besides the beaming rays of sunshine, is that you're like intently like, oh my, what are you? Are you serious? Like that's all I want. Something like that where you're serious.
It is. This means there's an entire world of Asgards out there somewhere in the galaxy. My brain shut off halfway through that.
Good.
This means there's a world. Charles.
Asgard.
This means there's another world. This means there's another world with Asgards on it that we've never heard of before. This means there's not.
Just keep going.
There's another world out there with Asgards on it.
I can't help it.
Rolling, rolling, rolling.
Mark it.
Scene boobies, take 1. Mark.
And cut. That's why I was saying that I wasn't gonna do what she doing the board because that's what she had written on the previous
had it
one.
written on the
I'm like,
board.
I am not gonna say boobies.
Anything. I'm not saying that.
I just did.
I know.
You said it again.
Okay, 13.1.
We have to have bloopers.
Running out of time. Less than 2 minutes until the moon crosses the horizon.
Was that your last line?
Yeah. Artifact.
Oh, I think I should look for a word for the artifact. A word on the artifact? Yes.
Shazam!
There you go.
So I kind of have to. Let me cross it.
Just check.
That's what you
Check.
need for. That's what he needed for that
Check.
scene.
That sounds good. It's just out here.
Okay.
So this one is a wide shot. So this is going to be all 3 people in scene. And we're just going to film for 30 seconds. They're saying nothing. They're just working, doing stuff here. And that's where we're going to block the shot now. And this is for her. So I'm going to use this guy. Just like that. Because I'm going to be pushing into the scene for this beginning.
That doesn't hit that.
I'm going to put 2 on. It's okay. I won't go that short.
Scene 2, take 1. Mark.
Action.
An armistice? Interesting. Does it say what brought the two of them together?
Not yet.
And he's like, I can't say that word. The word's not coming out right.
I suck at saying that word.
What is it?
Or something close to
Don't ask me.
Armistice.
Yes.
This
Alright.
next
When we got the
scene
close-up of
definitely
Brian
relates.
just now,
This is the place of our legacy.
he said armistice, right?
Maybe a type of museum?
In that,
That's a working hypothesis.
what's that?
I wasn't happy with any of his
This
readings.
last statement here.
We'll hire somebody to voice
has a
over it.
history
It wasn't? He didn't say close-up when we did the close-up?
Not the hand, the other
Not turn back.
Yeah, the other one. I'm sorry, not the hand. He did, right? Because I want to make sure
Not from back.
you kind of get close
When do you
look.
start?
It's loose right now.
The question isn't
Solve the actual puzzle without your help on the cheat sheet.
I'm just glad we got you back.
Awesome, Brian. Cut.
Yeah.
You seem way too. You were like,
Hey, we just came back from my nose.
no. You have to watch it.
It's hilarious. I couldn't look at it. I just couldn't stop looking.
Okay, I'll be more.
A little less Shatner, a little more Dakota.
You can be like, what's happening, but
Well, you're
instead of being
slaps
like,
too in a weird way. That was more.
yeah,
That's the one. That's the only thing. It was just the slap. It wasn't your facial expression.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Scene 6.9, take 1, Mark.
Action.
Does the gym on the table do anything?
Well, so what
The
we
data
found-
doesn't support that. It's probably just ornamental.
So anyway, this planet is important to both the ancients and the Asgards. This was the place where they first formed their alliance.
An armistice? Interesting. Does it say what brought the two of them together?
Not yet, but this ideogram shows our timeline next to this text, which is virtutum tuum proba cum veritate a, to basically prove your valor with truth and something else. You see the end of this word here is damaged, but after that it says all will be revealed.
We haven't figured out what the rest of the tests are yet.
I thought you knew what the tests were since you wrote the cheat sheet.
Cut.
Just saying that
Right on your mouth.
Understood.
C611 take 19.
I thought I was so done. I really was like, I did it. I didn't mess up.
No.
What scene is
Do
this?
it 15 more times.
6:10.
Rolling.
Mark it.
Scene 6:10, take 1, Mark.
Action.
Does the gym on the table do anything?
Sorry, I have to have at least one of those. We totally do.
Does.
Sorry, Charles.
No, you're fine. Have your William Shatner moment.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh my goodness.
And I can just.
That's good. Hey,
What are you doing?
Oh, come on, man. Amanda, feed off of this.
He's got space Shatner.
Well, if he's Space Shatner, then like we're thinking.
The data doesn't support it. We're mixing. The data does not support it. It's probably just.
This is illogical.
Take 476.
Examples of other ornamental gems include.
Okay, ready? Okay, quiet on set.
Guys, we're running out of time.
Unit.
There's less than 20 seconds left, or 2 minutes, until the moon crosses the horizon.
Unit.
Cut.
Okay, we ready?
Okay,
Okay, quiet on set.
Unitas! I spent 3 weeks learning Latin for that line. I didn't memorize any of my other lines, and you went and changed it. Camera rolling. Scene V8, take 3, mark it. Now, Josh, if you ever run the camera, make sure that you don't hit the button to put it into slow motion. You were telling me that. It was unfortunate. Thankfully, we caught it without too much. Yeah. There's a lot of buttons on that thing. I just saw Charles. He's right here, but he's actually behind the camera.
What?
Stop.
Sorry. All right, resume. All the bricks up.
Copy. Anyone there? Hello? Hello, Mike.
Okay, cut.
Door. And staff. It is so foggy in here now. I can't even freaking see anything. This is hilarious. This stuff is pretty potent.
It is. Wow.
Today. Can't even. Oh, there's Josh. You can kind of see him. We have to open the door to get rid of it. It is so much fog.
Oh wait, that's cinematic as hell.
Now that we have all the footage, it is time to create the first cut. Recut, recut, and then recut again, continually removing footage until it's uncomfortable. Then add visual effects, cutting out people, layering shots, then color grading, performing color corrections, then a color grade based on a preferred look per shot, adding secondaries for skin tone, shading areas, and more, and sound effects to enhance movements and motion, then matching music to the scenes, listening to each track, looking for the best fit for mood. Cut some more footage, update the visual effects, color grade some more. It is absolutely crazy how long the pre-production and post-production take in comparison to the actual shooting. In the end, we shot over 3 hours of footage with a little over 1 terabytes of raw video and audio to make this 14-minute film. So when someone says they want to make a movie, even if it's only 14 minutes, you might share this story. It's a massive world of never-ending but many fun tasks, and there's a reason the credit list just goes on and on. It's time, money, and so many talented people to make a story come to life. This was my first short film, but it will not be my last, so be prepared to get another invite for the next premiere. I already have Act 1 of an original film started. So till then, see you all soon, and thanks so much for coming to the show.
Armistice?